This video is brought to you by Sony. Learn what happens when artists meet engineers.
Hey everybody, Jim and Chris here to talk about this latest rumor about Star Wars Episode 7. There's actually several rumors, some casting stuff, but more interesting, this sort of redirection of the narrative of the new trilogy, Episode 7 through 9. Real quick, because we've covered it news-wise, but the story that Michael Arndt, the Oscar winner who wrote, Toy Story 3, Little Miss Sunshine, was the original screenwriter in Episode 7. Well, he left a few months ago, and they're now overhauling the script completely. According to Hollywood Reporter, it's going to be, he wanted to do a whole new set of characters, focus on the Skywalker and Solo children, right?
Yeah, so we're talking, are we talking expanded universe, Jason, Jaina, all those guys?
It was never clear because, they are now, Lucasfilm's also just refurbishing the continuity, kind of resetting everything. So we don't know, but it's probably going to be somebody like them. Anyways, the story was that they're going to focus on that Abrams wants to do the original trio, give them a fitting send-off for Episode 7,
right,
with the kids, the focus of Episodes 8 and 9. What are your thoughts on that? Is that actually, do we want to go back to that well one more time?
I think you've got all these people, right? And obviously they went out hardcore to get them for a reason. And one thing that, here's a curious thing, here's a curious element for me. They were saying for the longest time that they took this story from something that Lucas had actually kept,
right.
And it was like, we're going to take Lucas's story and tell this. Is that not the case now? Are they working with him? What's the deal?
Here's one aspect of the Hollywood Reporter story was that they did actually seek out George Lucas's counsel. Now he's out of the Star Wars game. He retired. He sold his company, and they reached out to him, ostensibly, I guess, to sort of like, do we have your blessing to go in this direction?
Right.
Maybe they were getting rid of his initial approach.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's one idea that I have, because the idea that Abrams wants to make it about the big three of Han, Luke, Leia, and kind of, in the words of the story, give them a proper, like a fitting send-off. Are they all going to drop at the end? Are we going to just see a whole array now of Force ghosts by the end of this new trilogy of everyone walking out together?
The Reservoir Dogs shot of all the Force ghosts walking out.
Or like the Expendables 3 teaser where everybody's just crammed into the shot.
I don't think it's going to be, I don't think you necessarily have to kill them all in this movie, but I think what they're saying is this is the one that's going to focus on them and sort of wrap up their story. I think we could still see...
Wasn't their story wrapped up?
Yeah.
Is it that people are saying that there's more story to tell because they want more story to tell? Does it necessarily mean that there is any more story to tell? Maybe that was it for them. Like, that was their function. It was served. And
for me, personally, I want to move past the Skywalker family completely in Star Wars. I think some of the cooler stories that have been told in Star Wars of late are existing in things like, Knights of the Old Republic and stuff like that, where you're not necessarily with those people at all. It's like, this is the world of Star Wars that has been created, and there's all kinds of stories that can be told. Now, I'm also excited about the in-between movies, because I think those are actually going to be the hope for something that's like not, that doesn't have to follow the Lukes and Leias of the world.
Well, here's one character that could potentially be either get a spin-off or be a very important part of the next trilogy. One other aspect of the Hollywood Reporter story was that Obi-Wan could have either a daughter or granddaughter of mixed race or African American, and that that's kind of an interesting idea to now bring in Obi-Wan's kind of his lineage. I thought maybe Obi-Wan would be done, but
I guess the whole Jedi's in love thing just went out the window with the prequels. It's like
I guess he met somebody passing by his cave in Tatooine, and he's like, "Hello,
get in here."
These are the droids you're looking for.
I don't fully mind. Now, here, let me just state this for the record: if these stories are great stories, it doesn't matter what characters are involved, like if the Skywalkers, if there's some interesting way that we can move forward with the Skywalkers and tell a great story and, show some cool stuff in the Star Wars universe, I'm all for it. I just personally would love to see that stuff move forward. And like, I don't think we have to be as tethered to the old characters. I think they need to have a little bit more faith in the universe in general.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little concerned that you're trying desperately to recapture the magic that these people had 30 years ago. Look at Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You know, Marion and Indy didn't they didn't quite click as well.
Right.
Or even like Wall Street 2, where Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen, even though it's just a scene, they're back together, the guys from the first movie, and there's no chemistry there. There's no spark. And that's what I'm afraid of happening, is that, you know, the original Star Wars trio of characters, Ford, Hamill, and Fisher, have not been together on screen for a long time. Will they recapture it? I hope they do.
Yeah, I hope so too. And you know, honestly, I think Abrams has what it takes to tell a story like this. And you know, they could be the crux of the story and then introduce all the new characters, you know, have their kids and then make that the next, you know, an easy transition to the next set of movies. So I don't know. I want to wait and see. I'm not like writing it off.
Yeah, I'm on the fence. I hope that they can recapture it, at least some of that roguish charm too of Han Solo. But keep it locked here to IGN for all things Star Wars, and specifically here on Movies for episodes 7 through 9. So thanks for watching.